Hello dear students, in this particular module we are going to study selection of characters that Mendel did for his experimentation. So let's see the characters selected by Mendel along with its contrasting traits. Mendel selected around 7 characters for his experimentation. Each character existed in 2 distinctly contrasting forms. That is, having a dominant trait and a recessive trait. So let's start seeing the characters that he chose. The first character Mendel chose for the experiment was stem height, where the dominant trait was tall height, whereas the recessive trait was dwarf height. The tall represented by capital T, whereas the dwarf represented by small t. The second character Mendel chose for his experiment was seed color, can also be said as the cotyledon color. The dominant trait for the seed color was seen to be yellow, whereas the recessive trait was seen to be green. The yellow seed color represented or denoted by capital Y, whereas the recessive trait, that is the green color, denoted by small y. Now let's see the third character Mendel chose for his experiment. That was seed shape. The seed shape dominant trait was seen to be round, whereas the recessive trait was seen to be wrinkled, where round was denoted by capital R, whereas the wrinkled was denoted by small r. The fourth character Mendel chose was pod color, where pod meaning the outer covering of the pea seeds. The dominant trait for pod color was seen to be green, denoted by capital G, whereas the recessive trait was seen to be yellow, denoted by small g. Let's go to the fifth character. The fifth character chosen was pod shape. The dominant trait for pod shape was inflated, denoted by capital I, whereas the recessive trait chosen was constricted, denoted by small I. The sixth character chosen by Mendel was flower position. Flower position, the dominant trait was axial, whereas the recessive trait was terminal flower position. The axial was denoted by capital A, whereas the terminal was denoted by small a. Let's see the seventh character that was chosen by Mendel, and that the seventh character was flower color. The dominant trait for the flower color is colored, denoted by capital C, whereas the recessive trait is white, denoted by small c. There is an additional character that was chosen by Mendel, and that is known as the character 7a, which is the seed coat color. Here the dominant seed coat color is colored, again denoted by capital C, whereas the recessive trait is white, denoted by small c. So here in this module, we are done with selection of characters. Now let us study the genetic terminologies before we move on to Mendel's experimentation. Thank you.